Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for Skill of Attraction. And today's attraction tips video is called Will Women Chase You? Now I felt this was an important topic to cover because I noticed there's a lot of confusion and misinterpretations when it comes to whether or not a woman will chase you, a man. Now you often hear from me and other coaches that if you do the work, you'll have women pursuing you. Or you may hear that you should never chase a woman because women are the pursuers. And then, of course, you hear from women and men who are unfamiliar with how attraction works that it's men who are the chasers. But which is true? Is it men or women who take the lead in pursuing the other? Now, some of you men who are more advanced in terms of having success with women know the answer to this. But like I said, most men are very confused about whether or not they should be pursuing women. Now, as an example, one of the most common things I hear from average men and women on this topic is that men are natural hunters, and therefore they also hunt and chase women. Now, there is some truth to that, and we'll get into that as we go along, but it's not exactly how you think it works. Most women are adamant that men are the chasers, and if they're not, then they absolutely should be the ones chasing women. Now, of course, that makes sense on the surface because we see that in movies and TV. We may even read it in books. Sadly, this idea makes dating and relationships much more difficult than they have to be because some women, once they realize that their man isn't chasing them, they stop all forward movement, expecting the man to step in and do something about it. Now, I've coached many men who have run into this problem. Hell, I've run into this problem numerous times. The courtship is running smoothly, she's mostly pursuing the man, and then something hits her. Hey, he's not chasing me. He should be chasing me. He's the man. This is his job. So then they completely stop, like I said, all forward movement. Now, I often find this kind of funny because prior to this realization, she was happy and falling in love. You both were. But now she wants to stop because it didn't follow what she saw in the movies or what the latest issue of Cosmopolitan said. Now there's friction between the two of you. Sometimes it even turns into a standoff, waiting to see who's going to blink first. Oftentimes, a woman will even tell her man that she wants him to chase her more, which is also kind of funny because that act alone is her chasing him. She's essentially chasing him to ask him to chase her more. So in this attraction tips video, I'm going to be discussing who is naturally the chaser, men or women, and whether or not building yourself up into a high value man will have women chasing you. But if you guys need my personal help, and you're interested in some private coaching, please head over to my website at soa.fm, click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see that I have several options for you to choose from. My coaching options include several phone coaching packages for my North American clients and several Zoom coaching packages for my clients outside North America. And I'll post the links to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. And also be sure to check out my new merch, which could be found directly below this video or by tapping on the store tab on my channel. Also, I've been working on a men's community, for lack of a better term, for you guys. Here you guys could ask questions, share your war stories, give and get advice from other members, including myself. And just consider this a soft launch as I test it with real members. I haven't exactly made an official announcement yet. So just head on over to soa.fm, sign up for an account. Registration is free, and I made sure that you can remain relatively anonymous. And you can just start posting, asking questions, sharing stuff you've learned. Remember, it's really just in the testing stages, so you may run into some hiccups or bugs, and do expect to see some minor changes here and there. And I want to hear your feedback as well so I can make it better. So soa.fm. And if you need help remembering it, SOA for Skill of Attraction, and FM because it's fucking magic. And I hope to see you there. So first, let me distinguish the difference between chasing and pursuing. First, let me distinguish the difference between chasing and pursuing. Many people use these terms interchangeably. In fact, I'm guilty of that myself, but for the sake of this video, let me differentiate between the two words. Chasing is chasing someone's validation or attention. Pursuing is basically trying to turn an attraction into a relationship of some sort. That relationship could be casual, friends with benefits, strictly sexual, or even a committed LTR or marriage. So with that in mind, chasing is not really something that you want to be doing. But you must pursue, at least to some extent, and we'll get into that as well. Now, I did a video a while back called Men Must Chase in the Beginning, and obviously that was made before I began to differentiate chasing from pursuing. But what I meant was men must pursue, and I recommend that you watch it. However, in many cases, it's actually the women who is pursuing a man first. The way women pursue a man is not the same way a man pursues a woman. Men, we're very overt and obvious when we like a girl. Women, on the other hand, they're very subtle, covert, and coy in their pursuit. Think about that cute girl that was giving you a look from across the room. Was it completely accidental? Was it a coincidence? Is she just happening to be looking in your direction? Of course, either one of those could be true, but it's also a very common way that women send a man a signal that says, hey, come over here, talk to me, I like what I see. The chances of a woman actually walking over to a man and saying that are extremely slim. It happens, but it's very rare. Women rather send you the signal, and the men who get it will pick up on that signal and approach her. Now, women send men these types of signals all the time. Sometimes it's more obvious than others. But they're meant to not only protect her from rejection, but also as kind of a filter. Women want men who get it. And if you don't get her signals, you probably won't get or understand her signals that she gives you in the future, and therefore, you're probably not a good contender. One time I was out, and this cute girl who I noticed right away, she saw me and walked past me, intentionally just bumping into me to get my attention. Now, how do I know it was intentional? Because as soon as she bumped into me, she turned her head around towards me and flashed this cute smile. And that was my cue. She wanted me to come over and talk to her, and of course I did. Sometimes women will even plot out some way to see you at a place where she knows you'll be because she's interested in you and she wants the opportunity to give you the chance to talk to her. And, I could name a ton of other circumstances where the woman does something to get an attractive man's attention so he'll approach her. So do women pursue men? Well, in that regard, they certainly do. That cute girl that bumped into me, I most likely wouldn't have approached her had she not got my attention. Like I said, I did notice her right away, but I was also out with some buddies and I wasn't out necessarily to meet girls. This also shows that women will pursue a high-value man, but it's not in the way that you would probably imagine. Women are typically not overt in their pursuit. They'll flash a cute smile, give you a look, bump into you, maybe ask you a question, things of that nature. Then it's up to you to take the ball and run with it. So if you think that you can just sit back and beautiful women will just throw themselves at you because you're a high-value man, well, that's not going to happen. As a man, you must pursue taking it to the next level. You got to take the lead. So you must pursue the courtship or pursue her into your bed. And you flirt with her, you seduce her, you get the ball rolling. So men do and must pursue in that way. Women will expect you to pursue at this point in the early stages. They will even sometimes purposely play a little hard to get to see how much you like them and to see if you pursue her. I get a lot of men who ask me things like, hey, coach, I got her number and I talked a little bit, but she's not chasing me. What do I do? Well, of course, she's not going to chase you at this point. This is your job. As a man, your main focus with women should be getting her out on dates, having fun together, and gently leading her into the bedroom. It's really that simple. But you must be the one pursuing that. It's extremely rare that a woman at this early stage of dating will contact you to ask you out on a date, or even rarer that she will be trying to get you into bed. Why? Because that's your job. You must pursue what you want with her, and then you must lead her in that direction. However, once her emotions are engaged, she's developing strong feelings for you, she's starting to see you as a boyfriend, then she does typically begin to pursue and chase you. She wants your attention, and she wants more of your attention, and she'll be texting and calling you in order to get that. She's also beginning to pursue a committed relationship with you. As I've said before, men are the gatekeepers to commitment the same way that women are the gatekeepers to sex. We pursue sex, women pursue commitment. Essentially, when women get to this stage, that they're actually trying to lock you down into a committed relationship with her. Most modern men have been conditioned to do both, pursue both sex and commitment, thinking if they freely hand over a commitment to a woman, they'll get the sex. However, what they're really doing is taking the woman's job away from her. What does she have to work for now? This takes away all the mystery and challenge for a woman, all the fun, and she no longer has to earn a man's heart. The men wonder why the women that they date aren't interested in committing to them, or why those same girls are chasing after the bad boys. And it's partly because those bad boys are making them work for it. Hence, why women often become obsessed with them. So, who is chasing who? Who are the real chasers? Well, I think you could see that it's actually women who are both pursuing and chasing the men. While men do have to initiate and pursue anything more than, a look across the room and pursue any kind of physical intimacy, it's really women who are both chasing and pursuing the man in the big picture. Now, when men begin chasing a woman, meaning that he's chasing her attention, chasing her validation, maybe even chasing a committed relationship with her, what happens? Well, she loses interest. And why? Because he's demonstrating feminine energy. Essentially, it's a bit of a turnoff for women, despite what society tells you. Plus, like I just said, it takes away all the mystery for her, all the challenge. She doesn't have to work for any of it. There's nothing for her to wonder about, nothing to fantasize about. There's nothing exciting about that, and nothing interesting about that. And it's just part of human psychology that we all cherish that which we must earn. In other words, she doesn't have to earn your heart. She's not going to cherish it. At least she's not going to cherish it the way that she should be. And when men are chasing women, those women often feel smothered or pressured into more than what they're currently comfortable with. This is why you have to take the courtship or the seduction or the relationship at her pace. And how are you going to go at her pace when you're the one chasing her? Yes, you do have to make your girl feel special and desired. So I'm not suggesting that you don't pursue her at all. As I mentioned before, you must arrange dates, have fun together, plan the fun, and lead her into the bedroom. You're essentially leading the interaction and setting the tone. And that's the man's job. Women set the pace, men set the tone. Women are the gatekeepers to sex, men are the gatekeepers to commitment. We each have our roles that are equally important for the success of the relationship. And when you start doing her job, she begins to pull away. Just as when she starts doing your job, you begin to pull away. So if you handle it this way, you give her the time and the space for her to do her job and for you to do your job. And you'll notice that the relationship will happen much more effortlessly and organically. And those are really the best kinds of relationships. Neither one of you have to put so much effort into the relationship. I mean, it just happens, which is the kind of love story women want to be in anyway. It's when you don't give each other the space to play your roles, when you try to force or manipulate the other into doing the things the way that you want on your timeline, that it begins to just kind of fall apart. And this goes for women too. Someone taught or told them that they need to take some sort of action or to make their partner start chasing them, and then conflict and friction comes into the mix. And then things are getting really difficult. So those are just some things that you should be thinking about. So if you found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. And I would also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol right next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have numerous offers or links to attraction-related programs that may interest you very much. But I also have a link to PayPal or my Bitcoin wallet address if you deem this video worthy of a donation. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.